Hello everyone, I am Chad Wilson. I'm the Director of Technical Communications for the College of Engineering at the University of Houston. You may have other instructors, but I'm the director of the course, so you may be required to watch this video. I'm asking you to analyze a TED Talk. Well, I want you to look at two specific TED Talks. Okay, so I want you to go to YouTube or to the TED website, and I want you to pull up two different videos. One is Carolyn Porco Flies Us to Saturn. You want to look at her video. Carolyn Porco is a researcher who studies Saturn. Then I want you to look up Amory Lovin's, that's Amory Lovins, Amory Lovin's 40-year plan for energy independence. And Amory Lovin's is a researcher of energy policy. He advises presidents. He speaks on these topics. I saw Amory Lovin's 40-year plan for energy independence on the TED front page several years ago when it came out, and I was immediately interested. It's called a 40-year plan for energy independence. I'm interested in the subject. So I clicked on it, and you should click on it too. I want you to watch a couple minutes of it. So pause this video and then come back when you're done. You don't need to watch all of it, just watch a couple minutes. Okay, I'm gonna assume that you watched it. At the very beginning, he tries to tell a joke. He says, "How would you rather die?" And the joke falls completely flat. He can't do it. He cannot tell the joke. He just can't. He's not a funny person. No one laughs. No one gets it. But if you listen to what he's saying, he's memorized an amazing script. He is really good at this. He has written out a great script. So I'm interested in the topic. He has a great script, and look at his slides. They're amazing. I wish I could make slides that look that professional. They really are professional looking slides, and I can't get mine to look quite that way. And that's okay. I'm not a professional presenter. I'm a teacher. There is a difference. So his script is amazing. I'm interested in the subject, and his slides are professional. And yet, the presentation is awful. Why? Because he is so boring. The fact that he couldn't tell that joke at the beginning, that no one laughed, that's a clue that he just can't do it. He is not a good presenter. It's his delivery that ruins everything. I do not understand how he could be that bad. Everything is good. I'm interested. The slides are great. The script is great. And yet it falls completely flat because he has no excitement. And if I had to say one thing about how to get people interested in what you're saying, it's for you to be excited about your topic. If the person presenting is not excited about it, or can't present that enthusiasm, can't communicate that enthusiasm, then no one's going to listen. No one's going to want to listen. Because if they're not excited, why should you care? All right, now, contrast Amory Lovin's 40-year plan for energy independence with Carolyn Porco Flies Us to Saturn. Carolyn Porco is not a professional presenter. She is a researcher, and she studies Titan. Start watching. Now, you'll notice first that she is not as professional. She has a lot of ums and uhs in her script. She has not just memorized a script. It's more off the cuff. And yet, I enjoy her so much more. In fact, if you look at her slides, the slides are not as professional. The slides are not as amazing. They are just full bleed pictures of Saturn or of the Earth or sometimes they're artist renderings. So they don't look as good. The slides are not as good. So the slides are not as good, her script is not as good, and yet, if you go to about the 7-minute mark, watch for a little bit, at one point you see she's about to cry. It looks like she wants to cry. She cares about this subject so much that she communicates it to the audience. And if you go to the end, you'll see that she gets a standing ovation. People cheer for her presentation. And that's unusual. I've been to rock concerts that didn't have as much clapping and cheering as she gets for that presentation. Her script is not that great. I don't really care about Saturn. I'm not as interested in Saturn as I am in energy independence. So her script isn't great. Her slides aren't great. I'm not that interested in the topic. And yet, I love her presentation. And yet, she gets a standing ovation and people scream for her. Why? Because she is the opposite of Amory Lovins. She communicates that enthusiasm, that love for the subject. She communicates it in a way that makes the people in the audience care about it. Amory Lovins couldn't do that. That's one of the things you want to try to do in your presentations. If there's one thing that really distinguishes a mediocre presenter from a good presenter, it's enthusiasm, excitement.